Hi, this is Rock. We've been dealing with some increasingly complex functions. This one's called drop, and it's actually quite simple. I use it in complex scenarios, so we'll get into how those apply, but on the whole, this concept is quite simple and straightforward. So let me create a sequence of data here, let's say 20 by 20. So we've got this data. The way drop works is if it's a positive number, then it's dropping the rows from the top. If it's a negative number, it's dropping the rows off the bottom. If it's a positive column, then it's dropping it off of the left. If it's a negative column, then it's dropping it from the right. Columns are optional, rows are required. So if you are dropping just columns and not rows, put in a 0 because that argument is required. But what we're going to do here is drop the rightmost column. I'm going to say 0 on the rows, and I'm going to say -1 on the columns. And let's see if that's what I was intending to do here. Yes. So it has the same features of the original array, just that that last column is dropped because I didn't drop any rows. It has the same number of rows. In fact, let's do a thing here where we put in the number of columns, we count. So we'll say columns, and we're going to say columns. I'm going to grab this £sign to pull the whole array. So that has 20 columns. Actually, let me bring this out here, and then we'll put the rows next to it here. Rows, and we'll say equals rows, and we'll take this same array. So it's got 20 and 20. If I copy this and put it here, it's got 19 columns. This one has 19 columns and 20 rows. Okay, let's do a similar kind of thing where I'm going to take this and come down here and paste it here. But instead of -1, I'm just going to put a 1 to drop one column. And if I copy this and paste that here, again, it has 19 columns and 20 rows. So it kept the same number of rows, but it dropped the leftmost of those columns, and now it starts with 2, 22, etc. All right, let's keep going with drop and drop some rows. So in this case, I'm going to, well, let's start by pasting this guy here. And then I will copy this and bring it down here. And instead of dropping any columns, we're going to drop a row, which the columns are not required. So I can just drop the row. Remember that using a positive number, so 1 versus -1, means that it's going to drop from the first row. It's going to drop the first row. So let me do that. And now it has 19 rows, and it starts with 21, which is the second row here. All right, let's do something a little different this time, and let's say 3. We're going to drop 3 rows. That's going to leave off the first 3 rows of this original array. And these are the first 3 rows. It dropped those off, which is why it starts with 61. So let's do this again, and this time we'll drop from the end. So I'm going to take this formula and put it into here, and now I'm going to say -3. It should still have 17 rows, but it's taken them from the end. So it ends at 321, and this first one, if I took off those last 3, the first row, or the last row starts with 321. So that's how the drop function works. Next, we're going to look at take. See you there.